One thing I've noticed, and I don't know if this is just recently or me in general, or just whatever, my reading is usually all over the place. Right now it's been epic fantasy, dystopian science fiction, literary fiction. There hasn't been a theme. I'm just picking up whatever catches my attention, and honestly, I genuinely like reading this way. And it goes through with my brain. I don't have a TBR. I'm going to do a video about why you need to get rid of your TBRs, and I'm just going to talk about the books that can call my attention. I'm Darth James, let's start it. I'm also out of my ADHD medication, so I'm feeling a little floopy. The biggest thing I've read recently was the Bloodsworn Saga. The Shadow of the Gods, the Hunger of the Gods, the Fury of the Gods. And I actually think I've read the first two before, because they're incredibly familiar. And I'm not going through my videos, I'm not going through where I write down stuff. Either that or my memory is just playing tricks on me, or I just genuinely forgot I'd already gone through them. And you know what? Reading them, the first two books are excellent. And I mean that. Wonderful ability to write battles that actually feel exciting and page-turning, rather than people just hitting each other with axes. Norse-inspired world is brilliant, the mythology is fascinating, the characters are memorable enough that you actually care that they're in danger. Where I struggled a little bit was with the final book. Now, I don't think Fury of the Gods is bad, far from it. It's a brilliant, enjoyable fantasy novel, and it contains that big epic scope, and I loved it. But I couldn't shake the feeling that it needed tightening up, especially through the middle. There were sections where I found myself thinking an editor really should have taken a firmer hand here. It wasn't that nothing was happening, it was more like everything felt like it was moving sideways before it actually started to remember to finish the trilogy. Sometimes there's a difference between writing a huge ending and writing a satisfying conclusion. That felt very much like it was trying to wrap absolutely everything up, and in doing so, a little of the momentum that made the first two books so compelling kind of got lost. Again, it's brilliant. It's still good, and it's a series I recommend. I'd recommend this to any fantasy fan because I think it's overall a really strong series. I just think the final installment ended up being the weakest of the three. Okay, I tried to read Red Rising. I'd had these books sitting on my bookshelf for years. I know. Don't yell at me. And for whatever reason, it's absolutely everywhere on my social media at the moment. The algorithm seems convinced that this is the greatest thing ever written, so eventually I just said, fine, I'll give it a go, after having the things that I bought on a book sale. I really don't get it. Maybe I'm too old, maybe I missed the cultural moment. Maybe if I read it when it first came out, I would have had a completely different experience, but reading it now, all of it was just, I've read this before. It felt like it was collected together from every major YA dystopia trend of the early 2010s. Society divided into rigid classes, everyone assigned a specific role. A young protagonist who has to challenge the system, the feeling that everything is secretly controlled from above. It's brilliantly written. I don't think the writing is bad at all. But I never reached a point where I understood why so many people absolutely adore it. To me, it just felt like another dystopian novel that happened to lean into more science fiction-y vibes. Maybe the sequels become something different. I know a lot of people say they do. But if the first book doesn't grab me, I'm not convinced and I'm not going to suffer through it. I did finish it though, but I have no desire to read the rest. They're going in the charity shop bucket. Then I reread one of my absolute favourites, Memoirs of a Geisha. I love this novel. Every time I come back to it, it reminds me of how just beautifully written it is. Now, before someone inevitably points out the obvious, yes, I know it's not historically accurate. I know it's been heavily criticised. I know it's based on a romanticised version of the world rather than reality. Yada, yada, yada. All of those criticisms, fine, but judge it purely as a piece of fiction. It's gorgeous. The writing is eloquent without trying too hard. It's emotional without becoming melodramatic. It has this melancholy running through it that I absolutely love. And every single time I finish it, I'm reminded just how much I wish the film had kept the actual ending from the novel. Without spoiling anything for anyone who hasn't read it or seen the film, the book's ending is so much more bittersweet. It's kind of heartbreaking in that nice quiet way. It's hopeful, but it's not a fairy tale. Life carries on. People carry on regardless. People carry regrets. People carry memories. It's one of those endings that lingers with you after you close the book. Where the film went a different direction and actually cuts the ending, and that kind of, I wish they just kept that ending. It's probably one of my favourite literary fiction novels, and every reread just reinforces that, so yeah, it's been a very random few weeks of reading. Epic fantasy, Norse fantasy, a dystopian science fiction classic that apparently just isn't for me, and one of my favourite literary fiction novels that somehow gets better whenever I come back to it. Honestly, I like reading like this. I like random books. I don't like where everything fits into a theme or it's just a stack of books. Sometimes it's nice just to pick up whatever book looks interesting and see where it takes you. I'd love to know what you've been reading recently. Whether it's you've read any of these books, did you love Red Rising, did you Fury of the Gods, did it work better for you than it did for me? Am I the only person who still prefers the ending of Memoirs of a Geisha over the film? Anyway, I've been Darth James. As always, remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I hope you're having a brilliant day. If you'd like to support this channel a little bit further, check out my channel memberships or my Patreon for early access, an exclusive podcast, and plenty of extra content.